Hello friends, my name is Emil. Let me begin with my idea of trading the Forex market with the help of astrology. From the very beginning, I want to say that I learned a lot about this method from my friend Vladimir Komarov. Of course, I also read many books on this topic, but mainly I owe my success to this person. I hope this guy will write a detailed book on this method because it's beyond the scope of my videos. These things are not easy at all and requires a systematic approach to begin to understand what's going on. And let's get something straight. I'm not here to teach you this method, but to provide you the result of these calculations. Many times, William Delbert Gann has presented graphs of how the price mm, of an exchange trade instrument has responded to planetary lines. The truth is, he doesn't leave any information about this method, and ultimately, this information comes to us through two people, Patrick Mikula and Janie Long. Their calculations method are different, but work equally well. This method is not used alone. I like to use Fibonacci or Elliott wave levels to tell us if the pattern is complete, as you can see here. If the pattern is complete or if we have completed a correction or momentum to gauge what to do. I'm not very good at Elliott waves, so I prefer to pay for this analysis. Of course, there are many signal providers in terms of Elliott waves, and I have paid many of these so-called gurus, but at the end of the first month, it turns out that things are not as I would like to see. So after many years, I think I found a reliable provider who can count Elliott waves correctly, and his name is Elliott Wave Strategy from Instagram. You can find them and to see what they provide. Very cool provider, signal provider, very cool. Okay, let me start with the lines. Why are these lines curved? As you can see here and here. This is because the planet have three types of motion: direct, stationary, and retrograde. Most of the time, planets are in direct motion, as you can see here, here. But there comes a certain point where they become stationary, slow down their motion, and rotate around themselves, making them retrograde, as if they start moving backwards, which is not true. And to make it clear to you exactly what's happening, I'll show you a picture. Okay, the planet is in direct motion over here. Then it slows down, becomes stationary over here, and then retrograde, then back again stationary, and back into direct motion. Uh, Let me show you on the graph. Stationary, no direction, stationary, retrograde. And at closed levels here everywhere means that the planets were in retrograde motion. Uh, this method uh, has its peculiarities. In retrograde Mercury, the method doesn't work very well. I mean 50-50. Periods of retrograde Mercury are indicated in black lines. Here, here, it's a retrograde Mercury. And a lot of false signals are received, but only sometimes. If we have a nice signal where you can see that the price reacts very well with a certain planet, that doesn't mean the signal is okay. Here, as you can see, let me zoom a bit. In a retrograde Mercury, we have a signal in dollar yen, but it means most of the time it means false signal because of the period, which is not okay. It's very likely that the price mm, will cross the line in the next few hours or days, and it will ruin the idea, the strategy of entering the trade. I mostly use slow planets. There, the movements are smooth and give less false signals. And I have a rule: the slower a planet is, the the cleaner signal I get. Of course, in the future, I may gradually add the remaining four celestial bodies from our galaxy Milky Way, such as Mercury, Venus, uh, and Mars, and Sun, and the Sun, of course, if there is interest in what we do. I use only seven instruments: euro dollar, cable, dollar yen, US index, American dollar Swiss franc, USD Canadian, US oil, and sometimes Brent. Mm, of course, there is a case where there is a reaction in other instruments, but they are very, very rare. This is why that is why I have focused only on these seven instruments. I've also been watching Aussie and Kiwi and several cross instruments uh, such as Pound Swiss, but with them the reaction is not okay or it's very, very rare. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you a few examples exactly how the price react to these levels and specifically on US oil. Just a second. Okay, on a daily time frame. Okay. Mm, as I already said, I use Elliott wave for confirmation of my analysis, and I have this analysis from January 10, January 10, yes. Mm, okay, from my provider, as you can see, and it shows me that we complete this way, and we should go to 90 levels, which is very cool. Now, let me show you the last, the latest analysis. Sorry, indexes, commodities, USL on a daily time frame. It shows me that the price should go to 100 level. I have been looking for confirmation here, what I have here, and the confirmation is here, as you can see, which is very cool. First of all, I had a signal in retrograde Mercury period, and I thought that it would be a false signal. As you can see, out of this period, I have a confirmation here once, twice on a 1 hour time frame. Let me show you how cool is this. We have some kind of doji here. 2 weeks later, we have engulfing, and now we are going up, which is very, very extremely cool. The same thing happened. Let me show you guys on a daily time frame. The same thing happened last year. Again, in retrograde Mercury, we had a signal, but out of this period, we had a confirmation here, not here, here, and here. After that, the price shot up $30, which is extremely, extremely cool. Okay, guys, I think it's enough for today. Because I may provide a lot of examples, but it will take a couple of hours, maybe days, I don't know. And for now, I want to provide the levels for the next week. Okay, let's start with euro dollar. The levels for euro dollar are, or let's start from dollar Swiss. Mm, you can pause the video to save it and then continue. This is for the dollar Swiss franc. This is for the euro. This is for the pound, for the Canadian. Now for the yen. Here. Pause the video to write them down. I'm not going to bother you. Then dollar index. And USL. Here. Okay, friends. I think that it's enough for today. In the following videos, we will look at many other examples for the past years to give you a better understanding of what happened and how I trade this method. And the last thing I want to show you is how I add these lines to the chart. Let me show you. Okay, okay. I have purposely not added mm, the Pluto line for the next week to show you how I do it. Okay, the Pluto line for the next week is this one. I take the first figure from Monday morning here until the end of the trading week, Friday evening or Saturday morning, and that's it. I'll show you. Okay, 0 o'clock, Sunday morning, 0 o'clock, 25, 42, and that's it. It might uh, not be convenient mm, for some of you because these numbers are calculated for my latitude, but I'm sure you will find an option to fit them to yours. Okay, guys, subscribe to the channel. Oh, I'm almost forgot. Mm, these templates will be provided to you in my Google Drive under the video as well as for euro dollar, cable, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, yen, oil, US index. Mm, uh, for euro dollar, cable, Swiss and Canadian, you may use euro dollar template, one template. Uh, but for the rest of the instruments, such as yen, index, and US oil, there are corresponding separate templates. I'll show you. This template should be safe. It's euro dollar safe. Yes, as you can see here, I'll show you guys. Hmm, Okay, this line is missing. I just load the template here, open, and now this line is here, which is very cool. The same thing I should do for the rest instruments. Dollar Swiss, load template euro dollar, and for the Canadian. Okay, I think that many good things are ahead of us. So stay tuned, my friends, and let the profit be with you. Bye bye.